Map Business Online demonstration video. Today we're just going to talk about radius maps. I want to talk about a radius map because sometimes people just want a circle on a map. It may be just that simple. We've got a map here with a little bit of data that we've imported, and that data is classified on the map or color-coded. There are two places in Map Business Online where you can draw circles. One is accessed here from the query tools. We have a radius query, a polygon, and a drive time query. We're going to look at the radius query. And the other is here, where you can just simply draw a circle on a map using our draw tools. Either way, you can query data within that circle. But let's just take this particular tool, the radius search tool. We click it until it turns green. There's a little set of instructions that comes up over here. We go to the map and we pick a point on the map by holding our cursor down, and we drag to the left or right, and it creates a circle, and you'll notice the mile marker comes up and lets you know when you're at X miles, and so we can make that let's say 28 miles. Now when you use the query tool and you let go of the cursor, the first thing that comes up is this request to save a data set. We basically queried that imported data set that I had on the map in color code. So we'll just call this radius query 1, and we'll make sure that we spell radius right because we are recording this, and so we create that. It presents the data window, which now shows you all of the data within that circle. So there's the circle on the map. We could filter the data so that we're just looking at any of the data points that would be in that circle. And let's just close the data window for now with the filter data on the map on. Let's move these two toolbars a little bit, and let's just zoom in and look at that circle on the map. So those two toolbars will come back when you click the circle. You can see the data points that exist within there that are now in our data set. Now we've got the ability to work a little bit with that radius. We could change the radius miles. We could go in and make it 50 miles. We could go in and change the pixel resolution on the actual line, the line style. We could change the color. So I changed it to blue and I made it thinner. We could work with the fill. Maybe we don't want any fill. We just want a circle on the map. Or we might want it to be opaque. Or we might want to change the color of the fill. So those capabilities are there. We could show text associated with that particular radius. So I could put some text in here, and I can move that around depending upon what you want to do, so that now fills up the circle. I guess it's going to be right there. I'm going to remove that because I don't necessarily want that text there. So we also have the ability to requery that circle. We can go in and edit the map properties of the circle if we want, which essentially would give us this box here. So again, we'll go back in and we can look at that. This lets you show the radius distance, so we now know this is a 32-mile radius. We can get rid of that little text note there. And we can change the order of the data that's within the circle. So I could move the data. I guess I would move the circle back and move the data forward. Those are some of the things that are available within our radius search tool. So all of those tools could be applied. You don't necessarily have to create a circle in order to query data. You can just create a circle on the map as a draw function, and that's what these sets of tools are for. So we'll grab this particular tool next. Again, a little pop-up comes up here, tells you a little bit about it. You simply click a point on the map and draw your circle out. And let's use the same tool that we had before, that Edit Map Properties button, and let's just make that a 50-mile circle. And that's the same functionality here. We could go in and we could change the inner workings of the circle. We could make it opaque. All of the same functionalities that we just went through. So those are a couple of the ways to create circles. Now, we could use this circle to query, just like we do over here. In a way, those two tools are a little bit redundant. Now, in the Map and Data tab over here, we have the ability to turn on counties, states, and zip codes. Let's turn on the zip code function. So now the zip code layer is showing all across the map. And if we want to, we can find all of those zip codes just by clicking that binocular button. So regardless, you could do it automatically by just using this tool, or you could build a circle and just click the binoculars. But whenever you see those binoculars, that means you're going to query data. And the data that we can query is either the data we've imported, which we already queried, or the zip code layer. I'm going to choose zip codes, and I'm going to call this radius search 2. And you can see the highlighted area of zip codes that comes up, and now we have a list of zip codes that are basically touched or within that particular circle on the map. We can change the color if we want to. We can export that zip code list right here. You can export that right out. We can choose to grab demographic data to append to that zip code list, so I can add population, median income, and export that data. All of that's available by simply drawing a circle on the map. So this solves a couple of problems for the basic map user. It provides you a circle on the map, it provides you a method for querying data within that circle on the map, and it provides you a method for grabbing zip codes in a radius and exporting that data out to use it in a third-party application. So in a nutshell, that is a radius search within Map Business Online. Thank you very much. Go ahead to www.mapbusinessonline and take our 30-day trial.